In this new series, I thought I want to start with the very first legit job that I had. Yes, I worked as a call center agent when I started my career in 2009, specifically a customer service specialist. So let's dive deep into becoming a call center agent. If you are interested in becoming one, then find out if this job or career path is for you. Welcome to Career Chronicles, where we explore and discover different jobs and career paths and unveil insider information to help answer your burning questions. So, what inspired me? Nothing really inspired me. It was just a thought because when I was in college, I was thinking my major was communication arts, and I thought, what job could I possibly get with this kind of major or course? And so I asked one of my seniors, what kind of job do you think will you have when you graduate? And she said you can be in the academy, you can be a teacher, you can be a radio DJ in the studio, or you can work in a call center. And I was like, call center, what's that? I was young back then, of course, and it was still like the boom of call centers here in the Philippines. And I said, okay, we'll see. And so fast forward from that time, I was a freshman. I think that was my junior year in college when I tried applying for a call center in Davao. It was just, I'm not sure exactly what type of call center that was. It turned out to be like a scam type of call center in a sense because they don't have a business permit, but they're actually operating pretty fine that time. And so I was introduced into like a whole new world that I did not know existed before. It was mostly like an outbound kind of call center where we would call leads. It was an auto dialer. The calls just kept coming. And then we would call these people in the United States asking if they need something. It was like a variety of campaigns. It could be for a hard hat. It could be for an HGTV supplement. So it was just like everything that you can think of. So that was my first taste of an actual call center, albeit it was not a legit call center, but still, I did the job. So yeah, let me give you a day-to-day overview of being a call center agent. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing for you, but it's really very repetitive and structured, I would say. Call centers handle both customer service and sales. So when I say your shift is very structured, if you're scheduled to work at, let's say, 9 p.m., then you come to work before that time, of course, because you have to set up your tools. And then you have to log in, like, let's say 5 minutes or a minute before your shift. It depends on what your management wants. You set up your tools and you can have one tool up to 10 different types of tools. Again, it depends on your account. And then you check your schedule for the day. I check what time your break is, what time your lunch is, and then your second break is, and what time you're supposed to be out of the office. Of course, you already know what time you're going to be out, but there are some off the phone times in between, especially if you're a newbie. Like you might have some read time, coaching time, training time, huddle time, or whatever time that is. And you'll need to look at your schedule because if you don't follow your schedule down to the T, then that might affect your schedule adherence. And in some accounts, some call centers, schedule adherence is part of their incentive structure or their performance appraisal, all of those things. So if you are scheduled to be on the phone at 9:15 p.m., then you should be on the phone at 9:15 p.m. It's pretty much very calculated, right? The thing is, you can't just leave your desk or your cubicle and make your own schedule. That's not how it works in the call center. Someone is going to give you your schedule and you will follow it, and that's it. Now, if you are working hybrid, you have some time to work from home or work remotely, that's also possible, but Again, you'll still have to follow your own set schedule, because the thing with call centers is that you are assisting clients or customers, right? And especially with customer service, you will need to be in a specific time period to answer calls and assist clients or customers. If you're not there for a certain period of time, that's going to mess up the entire scheduling of the entire account. And that's not good for business. Okay. So if you are in a contact center, on the other hand, though, wherein there is a mix of calls, chat, and emails, then again, you will still follow a schedule, or you might be given the schedule on the spot. Like, you'll take calls in 1 hour, then after that, you're going to have to take chats, answer emails, and all of those things. It depends on how big the account or the company is. And so that's how repetitive it is. So yeah, you still have energy at the end of your shift. Some people may have energy, some people may have not, so they just go home right away and that's it. That's your shift for the day. Some of the challenges of being a call center agent, number one is really making sure that you're doing your job well, hitting the metrics set by the account or the client, all while taking calls for about 7.5 hours. Most of the time, nonstop. And when I say nonstop, some accounts really don't have breathing time or after call work, meaning that call after call after call, you'll have to take all of those. Like, you don't really get to rest in between. That's totally possible. So that's definitely a challenge. There was a time in my call center life where I almost cried because I couldn't take it anymore. Like, the calls just kept coming and I couldn't rest. And being a very good citizen of the world, I did not want to break the rules. So I'd always just suck it up and take calls. Yes. Number two, time zones and schedules. If you're not used to shifting schedules or working at night, working the graveyard shift, then it will be a challenge. At first, it was really a challenge for me because although I was used to sleeping late, I wasn't really used to living at night, being awake at night. There was one time when I could not answer my trainer's question. She was asking, I think, more than 3 times. And they were like, she's a smart girl, but why couldn't she answer this very simple question? I know, right? So I couldn't answer that question because my head, my brain was so messed up, I could not even think. And so I just told my trainer, I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy. And she said, this is the job, girl. You have to do this. You have to wake up. And yeah, that was pretty much the start of my life being upside down. Another challenge is definitely dealing with customers and yelling customers at that. So different types of customers, different types of clients over the phone. They have different personalities. It can be exhausting. And it can also take a toll on your overall physical and mental health. Just imagine talking for 7.5 hours, almost 8 hours a day, nonstop, and just resolving issues, resolving problems. And you'll barely even have time to think. So you have to be really fast. Another is the queue and the never-ending calls. Well, at least in my previous account, it was never-ending. It was never-ending. It really felt like from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., you will sometimes just never notice the time because you will just keep taking calls, keep talking. That's it. And lastly, I think I would say a challenge would be a toxic team or management. There's nothing more challenging than this because, no matter how good you are, no matter how enthusiastic you are, but when you're surrounded with toxic people, it's just so hard to get by every day. Thankfully, though, I really enjoyed the time I worked as a call center agent, taking calls because my teammates were super supportive. They were very willing to help. When there's anything that I did not know, they would help me. I did not once feel like it was toxic. It was a fun time for me. I truly, truly enjoyed taking calls. And I miss that time, although I wouldn't want to go back to that time because it was super tiring. So those are some of the challenges of being a call center agent. I'm sure there are still a lot, but personally, those are some for me. And then the rewards. Okay. If you compare it to other jobs, it's usually above minimum wage or salary. And that alone entices many people to apply. Even if it's an entry-level job, it is still like bigger compared to other jobs in other industries. Number two, if it's performance-based, you have the ability to increase your earning potential if you're really good, especially if it's sales, then you will really earn commission. And again, this depends on your account or your company. Hopefully they're generous enough. But my account back then was customer service in banking. We're not even upselling. We're not selling anything, but we do have metrics to hit. And for every metric, you get a bonus or an incentive if you hit it or you hit a certain level. And on my first month of taking calls, I got a total of 20,000 pesos, just incentives and bonuses. So I was so stoked that you could actually earn that much. But right now, I think because there's so many competition, then it might have changed. But again, it depends. If the management sees potential in you, then they will endorse you for promotion. In the BPO or call center specifically, they're always hiring internally or promoting internally. So if you're really good, not just as a performer, as an agent, but as a mentor or as a leader, then you really have a good chance of getting promoted faster than everyone else and faster than when you are in other companies. And this is really helpful because when you decide to move to a different industry or move to a different company, you already have a leg up because of your experience. And then number 4, reward is, for me, the discipline and patience that you will strengthen in your time in the call center is second to none. It is top notch because you will be speaking with customers, as I said, every single day of your life. So regardless of the personality of the customer, you'll have to accommodate and be friendly, of course. Except if the customer is abusive, then that's a different story. Now, the last one that I would say is a reward is, transferable skills. A lot of the skills that you will learn in call centers can be applied to many different industries or companies or scenarios in your life. So if you shift to a different career, I would say you are definitely up there in a way, because surviving the call center even just for a few months, that means that you have the strength and the agility, the endurance to get through all of these obstacles, So it's a reward in itself. When it comes to key skills and characteristics, I have mentioned these several times on the channel, but this is the main skill set that you should know. Very first one is going to be English communication. That goes for all, like speaking, writing, comprehension, empathy, and listening. And number 2, being calm and your ability to pacify an irate customer. Really lots of patience, because as I said earlier, you'll be dealing with clients and customers every single day, every single hour, and your patience will really go a long way. Number 3, task switching. So when you know how to efficiently move from one task to another as quickly as possible and with less or no mistakes, that is going to be very helpful. Not necessarily multitasking, because multitasking, as you know, is doing like 2 things, 3 things at the same time. But just task switching. So you have to be fast and think really efficiently on what the next thing to do is. Otherwise, you really have a long call time. Number 4 is ability to take in lots of information in a short period of time. There is a training, of course, but that's not going to take forever, probably just 1 month or 2 months. And Yes, you will encounter information overload, even on the floor while you're taking calls, while your customer is telling you about all the things that she did for the day, and then you still don't know what the problem is. You will get tired just of like listening to everyone, but when your brain can take in lots of information, that's going to be so helpful for you. Okay, and then number 5 is research and resourcefulness, because you will not learn everything in training. A lot of the things that are essential for you as you move along in your job or in your career are going to be learned there on the job, on the floor. And one of the most important things that you should learn and you should know is really like where to find the answers. Ask help from your supervisors, your managers. Where do I find all these answers, and where are you allowed to find the answer? For example, in our case, when I was taking calls, we were really not allowed to search on Google or search the open web or things like that. We would just have to rely on our knowledge base. It's internal. But there are things that can be answered by Google. It's just that we can't rely on it. So knowing that you can really search in Google, you have to be very resourceful and find the answers on your tools. So that's very important. When it comes to educational pathways, there is really no specific educational pathway. In fact, you can be a call center agent with whatever course that you have, whatever major you took in college. A bit of experience or relevant education will probably be an advantage, but it's not a deal breaker. Even if you are a nurse, you took political science, biology, the sciences, whatever major you had in college. Again, if you show the potential, if you know how to do the job, then you can get hired. Some companies even accept senior high students or undergrad college students as long as they are fit for the job. So there is no specific certification, training, or seminar except that of the companies. Because before you go to the floor, you even take calls, most likely you will be certified to do something. You'll be certified to take this type of call or to help this type of customer. It's different for each clients, but in our case, for example, you'll have to go through a customer service training, foundation training, or voice and accent training, client specifics training, which is going to be the process, the rules and regulations and the policies. And you might also have like an online training to supplement your classroom training. So all of those things, when you pass all of those phases, assessments, and everything, then you're in. And then taking the calls on the floor is your next challenge. Unique aspect. Okay, I would say it's a nice feeling to be able to talk to a stranger who lives in the other side of the world. It's a different kind of feeling, like you are on the phone, you're in the Philippines, and then you're helping this customer resolve his or her issue. It's fulfilling in a sense. And a lot of people may feel that because the job is repetitive and very structured, that there's no fulfillment to it. But when you look at it and really understand how you are a big part of the entire system, a big part of the company, then you will somehow find that fulfillment in helping these customers. Okay, now how to become one? How to become a call center agent? It is relatively simple in a sense because you don't really have to take the board exam or whatnot. You will have to go through a series of assessments, and that's when it will probably become difficult if you're not so used to speaking in English, or maybe you're not very keen on using technology. It depends on the type of job, but basically, number one is you look for job openings. It could be on the company's website or platforms like JobStreet, LinkedIn, even Facebook already has a jobs section. And then from there, you can submit your application online. You will be invited to go to their office recruitment center if it is an on-site job. And then you go through a series of assessments. You have an interview or interviews, and they will decide if you're fit for the account or for the company. But even though, say, you don't really want to spend a lot of time online, you can just go directly to the office or to the recruitment center of the company you're eyeing for. It is very straightforward. I did say earlier it's relatively easy in a sense that, it's straightforward, direct to the point when you're applying. But take note, the assessments, the interviews might not be that easy. So just have to really prepare for it. And good news, I have a lot of videos in this channel about interviews and everything you need to know, training. So just go ahead and look at my playlists and you'll find what you're looking for. Industry trends and challenges. You're probably not new to the word AI or artificial intelligence. That is the current trend. The rise of AI has already been impacting both the agent, the client, and the customer in a sense, especially for chat support, for example. A lot of companies nowadays just employ AI to respond to their clients or their customers online. And that is considered the frontliner. They even have a name for their chatbots, for their AI person, right? You can see this in companies like Cebu Pacific, Air Asia, the chat support on the website itself. And in a sense, yes, that helps. But of course, people, customers, would always want to speak with real human beings, especially for complex issues that cannot be resolved by AI at the moment. So in the day-to-day, at least at this point, there's really no need to panic that AI will get your job, but you will have to upskill and to learn more about what AI can do and how you can use AI to make your job better. So instead of fearing that AI might be getting your job away from you, again, work around it. Use AI to make yourself better. ChatGPT, Gemini, if you don't know those things yet, go ahead and search it on Google. Make yourself better. Maybe when you're making your scripts or your responses to your clients, you can use ChatGPT to enhance your scripts or your verbiages, but make sure that you tailor it to the situation and tailor it to your own way of speaking so that it doesn't sound robotic, it sounds human, it sounds you. All right? So yeah, you can learn how AI can make you more efficient and productive. That's definitely a trend nowadays. Advice for beginners. So 2 ways. You can either try it for yourself and see how it goes, right? You don't really know what the outcome will be, and you will not know if you don't try. You have to prepare, of course. You have to brush up on your English communication skills. I have so many videos about that in this channel, so go ahead and look it up. And you have to think through it. It doesn't hurt to try. If the plan does not go as what you're expecting it to be, then it's okay. You can just accept that maybe this is not for you, that maybe you can try again, or you need some time to prepare more. But at the end of the day, go for it if you want. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Career Chronicles. I hope to explore more jobs and career path in the future. If you have other topic suggestions, make sure you comment below. I'll reply to each one of your comments. Subscribe to this channel and share this video to anyone who might be interested. I'll see you on my next few episodes. Bye!